All right, let's go. The final adventure pack in the Sands of Harad cycle. It is the Crossing of Poros. Flight to Gondor 1A. Lots of setup here. Basically, we're going to be adding the Black Serpent to the staging area. We're setting aside 5 different encounter sets, plus the Poros garrison. And then 1B has 0 quest points needed. Allies enter play exhausted. And at the end of the planning phase, we're going to advance to a random stage 2. All right, the Black Serpent's back. 50 engagement. 0218. Cannot leave the staging area or take damage, and X is the stage number of the main quest, and the Black Serpent gets plus X threat, attack, and defense, and then forced, at the end of the encounter phase, either remove X progress from the main quest, or the Black Serpent's going to attack me. So I got to try to always place progress when I can, and to help me do that, we got Hobbits. So Sam Gamgee, leadership, 8 threat, 3 hit points, response. After we engage an enemy with an engagement cost higher than our threat, we get to Ready Sam. He gets +1 to his stats. We also have Lore Pippin. So Pippin is 6 threat, 2 Each enemy in play gets +1 engagement cost for each Hobbit hero we control. And then response, after we engage an enemy with an engagement cost higher than our threat, we draw a card. And then new to the series, old Thumbhead himself, Falco Boffin, 7 threat, 2202. Falco gets -1 threat for each Hobbit hero we control. And then action, discard Falco to reduce your threat by 7. So he's going to let us start the game at 18 threat. And then if I ever need to do a massive threat drop to get me back into secrecy, I can get rid of him. And yeah, he's really excellent. He's actually really excellent. So here's all the quest stages. So we have 2 stage 2s, 3 stage 3s, and then a stage 4. So I'm going to set that aside, and then we are going to go into our planning phase. So the way this deck works is I keep my threat low. I do some secrecy stuff, so timely aid, resourceful, secrecy allies, and then I just really try to build up a good board state in the early stages of the game. And then I can just hopefully power my way through the final stages. And because I'm running Hobbits, there is a fantastic trick I can pull at the end of the game. If you've never played this quest before, I would highly recommend going into it blind. Don't watch the video, because it's pretty crazy what happens at the end of this game when you get to stage 4, and it's a nice surprise. I'm using my custom tracker, so resources across the top, threat on the bottom. Opening hand, timely aid, thank you. All right, Gone, Berry Gone. There's some card draw. Nice, Steward of Orthanc, he's great. Oh, my 1 copy of Vanish from Sight and a Fast Hitch. So this is a great opening hand, mainly because of timely aid. I really want to get some allies in play right now, even though they come in play exhausted. Oh, speaking of a good ally, my single copy of this free Noldor ally. I'm in secrecy, so it said secrecy 2, so you reduce the cost by 2. So he comes in for free. That's nice. But he comes in exhausted, but it doesn't get any better. I mean, put them in now. They come in exhausted because when we advance to random stage 2, it's also hard to play allies. All right, I did timely aid, so we're looking for an expensive ally. There's one. Rosie? Faramir. Yeah, okay. 1 resource to get Faramir in on turn 1. That's excellent. So Faramir's coming in. He entered play, so he comes in exhausted, but that is fine. I need to place 2 progress on this quest. That's the main thing. That's how this deck can lose on turn 1. If I don't place 2 progress on the quest in the first round of questing, I'm pretty much dead. I mean, I am dead. I'm going to lose a hero. So I need to place 2 progress, because then at the end of the engagement phase, I want to remove 2 progress. So let's hopefully be able to place the 2 progress. I'm going to be up against 2 threat. Looking at the rest of my hand, is there anything else I can play? Yeah, I can play Gone. I mean, he comes in exhausted, and he gets willpower equal to the threat of the active location. But I just have to assume that I will be able to use him next round. So I'm going to put him into play for 2 resources, and hopefully we travel somewhere so he can help me quest next round. All right, so it's the end of the planning phase, so we advance to a random stage 2. So I'm going to set those right here, and we're going to place a token on each, and then see where we go. One of them really makes me raise my threat, and one of them makes me deal out a lot of damage. I would rather have the one that I have to raise my threat. So that's where Hobbits are good. And dropping 1. What did I drop? Oh, it's over there in the Black Serpent. It's red. Okay, so it is the one that makes me raise my threat. So I'm happy about that. So the stage 2 that we are going to is the Ethel Duath. When revealed, we're going to shuffle the Mountains of Shadow encounter set into the encounter deck, and then we're going to remove the Desert Sands encounter set and the other stage 2 from the game. So that's why you set these encounter sets aside. You're going to be adding cards to the encounter set as you go. Makes it really fun. This is a really fun quest. You never really know how it's going to go. It's always different because you're always adding different cards to the encounter deck. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to add this encounter set to the encounter deck, give it a shuffle, and now the Black Serpent is going to be 2 threat because we are at a stage 2. Okay, 2B, 10 quest points needed. Forced after a player plays an ally. He must either exhaust that ally or raise his threat by 1. Forced, when this stage is defeated, advance to a random stage 3. All right, time to commit characters to the quest, and this is really important. I have to make 2 progress on the quest. Alrighty, we reveal, after sending 7 on the quest, find a way down, a side quest, 6 progress needed. Surge, we can't reduce our threat, and then when we clear this thing, we get to reduce our threat by 3. That's going to be in staging for a while. And then that surges into Mountains of Shadow Treachery. We got to raise our threat by the printed quest points of the active location. If there is none, it surges. Okay, that's fine. And it surges finally into a card we're going to keep, a 34 engagement. Yikes. Desert Warg. It's a 2 threat, 5, 2, 3. And then when revealed, either place a random enemy from the set aside desert creature set into the encounter discard pile, or it's going to surge. Well, I don't want it to surge because right now I am making the progress I need. So we need to grab a random enemy from the Desert Creatures set. That's this one with the Scorpions and Vipers. So there's 5 enemies in it. So we give it a little shuffle. And then we're going to grab a random one and put that in the discard pile. I mean, that doesn't matter, right? Who cares? Let's just add it to the discard pile. There we go. Scorpion. So Scorpion is now in the discard pile. But good news. We only added 2 threat, which means we made 3 progress. So we're going to place 3 progress on the main quest. And then I am not going to engage that Desert Warg. So at the end of the encounter phase, whoops, come back here. All right, slippery little guy. At the end of the encounter phase, we got to back off X progress, where X is equal to the quest stage rat. So we back off 2. So we are at 1 progress, but we didn't get attacked. We survived turn 1. That's huge. That is a major goal in any quest, really, but especially in this one. All right, so let's advance the round. And now my allies are ready. We have no location, so Gondor Gone is not doing anything. And the card we draw is, excellent, good. We are still in secrecy. So secrecy is 20 threat or less. So that resourceful is only going to cost 1 resource. And then I get to collect an additional resource every round with whoever I put this on. So it had a secrecy value of 3. So it only costs 1. I'm going to put that on Pippin, spend Falco's resource to put that on Pippin. The rest of my hand, yeah, I'd like to get that Steward of Orthanc in, but I can't. Okay, I am going to send Gon on the quest, even though he's questing for 0, because Faramir can boost him, and it's just 1 more willpower. I'm hoping I don't have to engage anything. So I'm just sending everybody. That's the advantage of hobbits. Uh-oh, here we go. Desolate Land, X threat. X is the highest number of characters controlled by a player. So yikes. Okay, that is a 6 threat location. So that's going to bounce the threat in the staging area up to 10. But Faramir is going to add 5 willpower to the quest, and we hopscotch over that. Not hopscotch. What's the word? Leapfrog. That's the word. We leapfrog over the encounter token, getting us up to 4 progress. And then while I'm holding the die, I'm just going to back it down to 2. So I'm not going to get attacked by the Black Serpent. And then to travel here, we got to find a random card from the encounter set with the most cards and reveal that card. So the set aside encounter sets, we have one that has, if you look right there, it's kind of hard to see, but it's 12. And then the Mordor Orcs has 11. And since we haven't taken cards out of either of those, we're going to be getting a random card from the Harad set here. So let's see what random card we get. Give it a good shuffle. There are some just absolutely nasty cards in this thing. And I'm pretty nervous, but I had to travel there. I couldn't leave that in staging. So let's travel and just see what we get. Wow, okay. It's the captain. He's the worst. He makes all Harad enemies in staging area get +1 threat, not including himself. So that means the Black Serpent is now 3 threat. And when he engages me, he's attacking for 5. He's boosting the other Harad enemies I'm engaged with. He's the worst one. But I could have revealed a treachery that would have made me find an enemy and engage it. So I'm glad I didn't reveal that. But boy, that's a big enemy. That's a lot of threat and staging. This quest is very touch and go. I never really know how well I'm doing. Okay, refresh phase. So I readied everybody. I raised my threat. I'm going to spend a lore resource and exhaust 2 heroes and play Peace and Thought. I'm going to draw 5 cards. So I just need to get the cards in my hand so I have the options to do what I want to do. And I'm looking for secrecy cards while I'm still in secrecy here. So I'm hoping I draw something. Daron's Runes. There's a Warden. Gandhi. There's another Resourceful. And Friend of Friends. Okay, I need 2 copies of Friend of Friends for them to do anything. But I am glad to get another Resourceful. And then Furial, which of course is awesome, but I would have loved to have found her with Timely Aid and just get her in for 1 resource. But I might be able to get her in pretty quick here with these Resourcefuls on Pippin. All right, Daron's Runes draws me a Fast Hitch and Treebeard. I need to discard a card. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to get rid of this Warden. I don't have any damage on the board, and we also are not at the Desert Sands encounter set, stage 2. That's the one that dealt out all the damage, so the Wardens were in there to help me with that one, but we didn't go to that one, so the Wardens aren't as important. Falco will once again put another Resourceful on Pippin, so Pippin's getting 3 resources around. And, all right, when I play an ally from my hand, I either have to raise my threat or exhaust it. I don't think I'm going to play an ally. I'm going to play 2 Fast Hitch. So you exhaust it to ready attached hero. So Fast Hitch will go on Sam and Pippin. I will exhaust the Fast Hitch on Pippin to ready him. Okay, how much threat is in staging? The Captain is boosting the Black Serpent. So I'm up against 7, but the active location is 6. So Gombrigon is questing for 6. So if I send everybody but Falco, because he was already exhausted, I am sending 12. So 12 against 7. I already have 2 progress on the main quest, so the Black Serpent will be able to remove that instead of attacking me. So let's go against this side quest. All right, so the card we reveal is a 2-threat Southron Outrider, 28 engagement, and then after it engages me, I place a random enemy from the Harad Soldiers encounter set into the discard pile. All right, so we added 2 threat. Actually, we added 3 threat. He's boosted because of the Captain. All right, Faramir is going to boost us by 4. I almost counted Falco. And so that means we make enough progress to clear the active location. And I think I placed 3 on the quest, and then I realized later I only placed 2 because I forgot the Outrider is actually boosted. So I do get that right in a moment. So there's only 2 on that side quest. All right, engagements. Let's engage this Outrider, and then we're going to put a random Harad soldier in the discard pile. So he's only attacking for 3, and then I'm going to get to ready Sam, and Sam's going to be boosted. I'm going to get to draw a card from Pippin, so that's nice. So let's just grab the enemies from the Harad soldiers. So this is now the second card we've taken out of this set. So we give that a shuffle. We got those guys with archery. We got the soldiers that when they engage you, you remove progress. There's no good choices. We get an archer. Okay, so the archer is going in the discard pile. And then let's do all of the Hobbit things. So Sam's ready. So he's now boosted. Oh my gosh, and Pippin finds Rosie. Thank you. All right, I'm glad to see that. All right, Sam is defending for 2 against 3. And the shadow is return attacking enemy to the staging area. Well, that stinks. I mean, I get to engage it next round, but I just wanted to get the threat out of staging. That's me realizing he was actually a 3 threat. And Sam takes a damage, and we go into the next round. All right, what card do we draw? We get another Resourceful. Unfortunately, we just hopped out of Secrecy, so we can't play that at a discount. We are going to play Rosie Cotton, so she costs 2 leadership resources, and you can exhaust her to add her willpower to a Hobbit hero's willpower, attack, or defense, limit once per phase. So she can boost Sam, and if you get a fast hitch on her, you can use her in 2 different phases. That's great. I raised my threat by 1, so she's ready. We're also going to play Gandalf, full cost. I have 2 sneak attacks in this deck, but I need him right now. He's going to kill the Outrider because that's 3 threat and staging. Raise my threat, so he's ready. And then now we can go into the quest phase, and I need to put 2 progress on the quest. So it looks like right now I had forgotten to remove them last round. I do catch that in a moment, so there should be 0 progress on the quest. So my Hobbit heroes are 7. Gandalf makes that an 11. That seems pretty good. I got characters ready so I can handle an enemy. So yeah, okay, we are making 4 progress at the moment. Ah, jeez, really? So we get another Desolate Lands. Good Lord. So that is an 8 threat location that just got added. Wow. Okay. So we are underquesting by 4. So I will use Faramir to boost us by 4. That makes us even. And then I need to get 2 more progress on this quest. Otherwise, I got to take an attack from the Black Serpent. So Rosie Cotton will boost Sam, of course. That's who you always boost. And that puts 2 progress on there. And this is me realizing I shouldn't have already had 2 on there. So I'm saying, okay, I just placed 2, and then I'm going to back it down to 0 so I don't get attacked at the end of the encounter phase. So I got it right. It's all right. So there's 2. We're going to travel to the Desolate Lands, of course. I can't leave that in staging. Gonbury Gone is going to quest for a whole bunch. And then a random card from the encounter set with the most cards remaining gets revealed. And I know I've removed 2 from here, so that means there's 10. And there's 11 here because I haven't had to take any out of this one yet. So we give this a shuffle, and we're going to add a random card from it to the staging area. I mean, some of the enemies aren't the worst in this one, so I'm a little optimistic that it's going to be okay. And we get, wow! Jeez, I managed to pull the worst enemy out of both of these. We get the Chieftain. Oh, he's terrible. 50 engagement, 4, 5, 3, 6, cannot have player card attachments, or be optionally engaged. While the engaged player is engaged with another orc enemy, he can't take damage, and then forced, at the end of the encounter phase, he's going to engage the player engaged with the most non-unique orc enemies, so that's always going to be me, so he's coming down, and wow, that's something. I mean, I really debated on just scooping this game at this point and trying again, because the nastiness of the enemies I have managed to pull is pretty incredible, and I'm really wishing I wasn't going to have to put Gandalf in my discard pile. He would have been extremely helpful to come in and do some damage to this guy. Okay. Yep, that's something. All right, let's back down the progress so I don't get attacked by the Black Serpent. We're engaging this guy. He readies Sam and draws me a card. There's another secrecy card. And yeah, he's attacking for 5. Sam would not be able to handle that attack. I'm going to ready Pippin. And we're going to lose our little Noldor secrecy ally. That just has to be what happens here. So the attacking enemy gets +1. If it destroys the character, raise my threat by 2. Yep. Okay. I will raise my threat by 2. Goodbye, little secrecy dude. And then Sam, Gon, and Pippin can attack for a total of 4. Which does 1 damage, and I can damage him because I'm not engaged with any other orc enemy. And man, if I had snuck in Gandalf, I would have Gandalf in my hand, and I'd be able to play him next turn and kill this guy. But I don't have a sneak attack, so what a bummer. I mean, seeing Gandalf go away was like painful. It really was. All right, Pippin keeps getting extra resources, and we draw, another Friend of Friends. Okay, that's nice. Now I have 2 of them, and they boost all the stats and hit points of hobbits, and you have to play 2 of them for them to do anything. So if you only have 1 in play, it doesn't do anything. But if you can play both of them, then they're friends, and they boost each other. So it only can go on heroes. So Sam and Pippin now have +1 to all their stats and hit points. So that's extremely helpful, especially in a quest where you get punished for playing allies. So doing things that just boost your stats is extremely helpful. Speaking of allies, here's a new one. It's a neutral Isengard traded Steward of Orthanc, costs 3, quest for 2, 2 hit points, and then response. After you play an event, you can give it Doomed 1 to draw a card. You can only trigger 1 Steward of Orthanc per round. That's just a nice ally because it doesn't require a resource match, and he has 2 hit points and quests for 2. And if you're suffering from lack of card draw, he's great. He's really great, especially in a deck where you start out with such a low threat. Raising my threat isn't a big deal. But what is a big deal is Gondor Gone questing for 7. That's huge because the active location's threat is 7 based on number of characters I control. So I am sending 18 and we are up against 7. Okay, that's great. Let's go against the main quests. And the card we reveal, okay, it's another one of these Outriders. So that, remember, when it engages me, I have to add a card to the discard pile or it gets +3 attack. And then after doing some math and trying to sort everything out, I realize I'm not going to need Faramir in combat. So I am going to exhaust Faramir so I can get the boost. So he's going to boost it by 5. So that is going to let me put 4 on the active location and 9 on the quest. We need 10 to advance. So I'm going to be 1 short, but I need Rosie. So unfortunately, I don't get to advance, and then we're going to back it down by 2. So the Black Serpent doesn't attack me. So I'm going to end up with 7 on the quest. As you can kind of see, this quest, you do have to stay pretty focused on the amount of progress you're placing. Okay, so remember, Pippin's boosting all the enemies' engagements by 3, so I don't need to engage anything. And I'm getting attacked once again. I can defend for 2 thanks to Friend of Friends, and then Rosie's going to boost it. So I'm defending for 4, and we get discard a random card from my hand. That's always fun. I guess Furial and Treebeard would be the worst. I don't have duplicates of a lot of these big allies because every card's important in this deck. All right, I shuffled long enough. Let's go. And we get Timely Aid. I mean, there wasn't a good choice, to be honest. So no Timely Aid, nothing coming in a timely manner. And then I have nothing to attack back with, so that's why I could have used Faramir in the quest phase. All right, going into the next round. Okay, we draw another Peace and Thought. Okay, I need to get an ally in that can help me kill this chieftain, so we are going to play Treebeard. I can't afford Furial quite yet. So Treebeard's going to come in for 4 resources. He enters play exhausted, and so therefore I should have raised my threat because the quest card says either exhaust the ally after it enters play or raise your threat. Well, since he's already exhausted at the time I would have to choose one of those 2 things, I should have raised my threat. I just forgot. I also forgot to have given Sam a damage after that attack, so I just did that, so he is damaged. And yeah, looking at the amount of threat and staging, that stupid captain is boosting those Harad enemies. I am up against 10, and I don't need to worry about placing progress on the quest because I have a bunch sitting there. So we're going to go up against the side quests, and I'm going to send 11, and we still have Faramir. We're going to go against the side quests, and I don't even know what I'm hoping to reveal. I mean, I'm in a tough spot here. Okay, we get a Shadowy Veil, 2 threat, +3 if our threat is 35 or higher. To travel there, we got to reveal a card. I guess that's probably the best I could have hoped for. So it was just 2 threat, so now we are underquesting by 1. I can use Faramir to boost my willpower by 4, so we're going to make 3 progress, which is going to put us at 5 out of 6 on that side quest. So that's a shame. We don't get to drop our threat by 3. And then a lot of debate. And then finally I decided not to engage another enemy or travel. And so we're just going to drop the quest points down to 5. And we're going to deal a shadow card to the chieftain. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to chump this one. So Gon is going to jump in front of it. No shadow. He's dead. I just have to hope I don't reveal any more of those locations where I need him to quest for 10 or something. And then Sam and Pippin are each attacking for 2, thanks to Friend of Friends. Rosie's going to boost Sam's attack by 2. So we're attacking for 6, which is going to get us nearly there. He's almost dead. So let's go into the next round. Treebeard collects a resource to ready Ents or pay for Ent cards, and the card we draw is an Ent. It's Quick Beam. That's good. I am going to play Furial. Let's get Furial in play. That is also why I thought losing Gondor Gone is not a big deal. She should be able to get rid of that desolate land if we reveal that location again. So after all your characters commit to the quest, including her, you get to look at the top card of the encounter deck, and if you don't like it, you get rid of it. So she's in play. I raised my threat for her, and now I'm just debating what I want to do. I want to clear that side quest. So let's send her on the quest for 3. There's 3 more, and 4 more. So we are sending a total of 14, and we are up against 12. And the card to reveal is the Foothills of Mordor, 3 threat. While it's in the staging area, we can't cancel when revealed, and to travel there, we got to raise our threat by 2. Alrighty, so we added 3 threat. So if I use Rosie, I get us the 1 progress we need to clear the side quests. So let's do that. Rosie will boost Sam by 2, and then we get to reduce our threat by 3, and then I'm going to straighten up my staging area up there. But we're going to travel to the Foothills of Mordor, and I'm supposed to raise my threat by 2, but I actually get screwed up when I'm spinning my dial, and I raise it by 3. So the fact that I forgot to raise it when Treebeard entered play is now correct, because I just raised it by an additional 1 on accident right there. So we're good there. I'm not going to engage anything thanks to Pippin. We're going to deal the shadow card to the chieftain. No shadow. Treebeard took that attack, and I think I forgot to remove the progress from the Black Serpent. So there should be 2 less progress on the quest. It's a mistake, but it's not going to matter. I'm going to end up questing for more than I need when I go to clear that location. I'm sorry, when I go to clear that quest stage. But yep, I forgot to remove the progress, but it was there, so I didn't accidentally skip an attack I was supposed to take. The Hobbits and Faramir killed the chieftain. He does not go into victory display. He's just in the discard pile. And let's go to the next round. All right, next round, the card we get is Hobbit Sense. All right, veterans of this game and this quest already are smirking. I think you know what my plan is here in the end game. Okay, Quick Beam's going to come in. So he costs 2, and if you damage him, he's ready. So I'm going to put him in for 2 lore resources, and then I'm going to damage him and raise my threat by 1. So he is ready. We got to get this captain out of the staging area. He is boosting these Harad enemies, so he's basically 4 threat. And yeah, he's just nasty. I gotta get rid of him. So more attack power on the table. Let's send a lot of willpower. So Furiel's 3, Treebeard's 2, the Steward of Orthancs 2, Quick Beam and Falco are 2, Pippin's 3, and Sam is 4. That's going to put me at 18. And then let's see, the Black Serpent is 3, there's 2, the Captain's 2, the Outrider's 3. Okay, so when it's all said and done, it's 12. So 18 against 12. And okay, we get another Desert Warg, so we got to get a random enemy from the Desert Creature set and put it in the discard pile. So let's do that. We are currently making 4 progress, and the Sand Viper. All right, Sand Viper is now in the discard pile. So 4 progress, that's enough to clear the active and put 1 progress on the quest. And now I'm doing some math, trying to figure out what I want to do in combat to see if I need Rosie and or Faramir. So a lot of math the game going on where I'm trying to decide, do I boost my willpower or do I need the bodies during the combat phase? I decide not to boost anybody, and so I go to engage the captain, and then I do a little math, and I realize with Pippin only boosting engagement costs by 3, I would also have to engage the Outrider, and I really don't want to. So I need to drop my threat down. So what I'm going to do before I engage the captain is trigger Falco. So Falco will be discarded, and I get to drop my threat by 7. So now I don't need to engage anything. I can only optionally engage anything. So now I'll engage the captain. That'll ready Sam and draw me a card. It's another Friend of Friends. That's useless. You only can have 2 in play. So Sam is now defending for 3, and with Rosie's boost, he will be defending for 5, because Sam got boosted from engaging this enemy. So it's 5 against 5, no shadow, thank you. Okay, that's really good. So I take no damage, and then I can ready Pippin. Pippin's attacking for 2, and Faramir is attacking for 1, and then I'll ready Treebeard. And Treebeard will attack for 4 more, so you can spend 2 resources to ready an ent, and that kills the captain. So that's why I was doing all the math to see if I was going to boost my willpower. I realized I did have enough attack to kill that captain, so I thought that was the smarter move. And now we will go into the next round. I just removed 4 threat from the staging area. I have managed to kill the 2 big enemies from each of the set-aside encounter sets. I have triggered Falco, so now I am low on my threat again. And we draw Gandalf. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but Sam also participated in that attack. He was attacking for 3. Okay, so I have this card. It's Vanish from Sight. So if you only control 2 heroes, you get to treat your threat as if it's 20. So that lets you play a bunch of secrecy cards. And I realized I had Peace and Thought in my hand. And I would have played it in the refresh phase. There was no reason not to at this point with the fast hitches on my 2 heroes. So I'm just taking a little step backwards and saying, hey, in the refresh phase, I would have spent a lore resource and exhausted my 2 heroes and drawn 5 cards. So I end up getting 2 Daron's Runes, a Secrecy Ally, a Fast Hitch, and a Welling Hall Preserver. I was really hoping to get a Sneak Attack. There's 2 in the deck, and especially with that Gandalf, Sneak Attack would have been good, but that's okay. I'm really happy with the cards I drew because I have a number of secrecy cards in hand. Let's play Daron's Runes and see if I can find more secrecy cards. Yes! Timely Aid, and there's my Hobbit Cloak. I've been looking for that Hobbit Cloak. Okay, I will discard this useless Friend of Friends for the Daron's Runes, and then I'm going to play Vanish from Sight. So if you control 2 heroes, treat your threat as if it's 20. So now I'm in secrecy. So let's spend a leadership resource for Timely Aid. So we're going to do that. And I get another Secrecy Ally, a Lookout, another Lookout, and a Warden of Healing. So I think I will play the Warden of Healing because I have damage on the board. So let's heal some damage off with this Warden of Healing coming in. And I make a mistake here. I make it harder on myself. I raise my threat. I don't need to. The quest card says when you play an ally, either raise your threat or exhaust it. I didn't play that ally. Timely Aid played that ally. So making the quest harder on myself. I didn't have to raise my threat to keep him ready. Here's me going, wait, I had once again forgotten to remove the progress from the Black Serpent, so I back that down. It's actually supposed to be 2 less than that. I had forgotten it twice. So there should be 2 less progress on the quest. Let's play another Resourceful on Pippin. So Pippin's getting 4 resources around, so not having Falco isn't a huge deal at this point. Let's play Hobbit Cloak. So Sam will be able to defend with +2 defense against enemies with a higher engagement cost than mine. So that's an excellent card to get on him right now. Let's spend 1 resource, because this guy has a Secrecy 2 discount. And when he enters play, you get to look out and see if the top card is an enemy. And if the top card of the encounter deck is an enemy, if you want, you can discard it. I decide I'm just going to exhaust him. I'm not going to raise my threat. I don't need him this round, I don't think. The top card is a Doomed 1, and then choose a random card. You know what? It's bad, and I think Furial's just going to be getting rid of it. That's just a great card to not reveal, so Furial's going to ditch that card. And then finally, the Welling Hall Preserver is going to come into play, and when it readies, you get to heal an Ent character by 1. So I forgot Treebeard's resource, so let's put the resource on Treebeard, and I'm going to spend 3. He comes in exhausted, and because I can't exhaust him, I should have raised my threat, and I don't. So the fact that I raised my threat for the Warden now is offset. So 2 mistakes, but they offset each other, so it ends up being right. So my threat is the correct threat. I'm calculating how much threat I am going to have to quest against. It is 10. And like I said, Furial is going to be getting rid of this card because I don't like the effect on it. So she's questing for 3. The Steward's questing for 2. Pippin for 3. Sam for 4. I know I can't advance this round. I won't be able to generate enough willpower. Plus, I'd like to kill another enemy before I advance. So let's see. Is that enough? Yeah. Okay. So Furial is going to get rid of that. We're sending 12 against 10. The actual card we reveal is the Uruk Prowler. So he's either going to make an immediate attack against me, or I got to put a random orc from the Orcs of Mordor encounter set into the encounter deck. So we will grab these guys, give them a shuffle, and let's put a random one in. The random one we get is the Uruk of Mordor. All right, so that is now in the discard pile. We added 3 threat, so we're underquesting by 1. So Faramir will boost us by 4. That's fine. That's fine. I knew I wasn't going to advance anyway. So we're going to add 3 progress, and then I'm going to be backing 2 of it off. So we really only added 1 progress when it's all said and done. I don't want to travel there. I don't like the effect of traveling there and revealing an additional card. So let's grab this Outrider. His threat is higher than mine, so it's going to ready Sam, so he's now defending for a ton. We draw another Hobbit Sense thanks to Pippin's ability. And then the Outrider, there's me backing off the progress. The Outrider either gets +3 attack, or I got to get a random card and put it in the discard pile. I'm just going to, I'm going to take the attack. It's fine. He's attacking for 6, but Sam is defending for 1, 2 plus being engaged, 3 from Friend to Friends, 2 from the Hobbit Cloak, and then Rosie is going to boost him. So Sam's defending for 7. So it's 7 against 6, no shadow, so no damage. Quick Beam and Treebeard can attack for a total of 7. We kill the Outrider, and then the Welling Hall Preserver is going to heal Treebeard for 1, and we go into the next round. All right, next round, the card we draw is the Evening Star. It's a event that places progress on locations, gets more powerful based on how many copies you have in your discard pile. Fast Hitch will go on Rosie, so I can use her willpower twice in a round. And then I am going to play Daron's Runes, draw 2 cards, and I'm going to be discarding the Evening Star that I have. Ooh, special card coming, you can tell. All right, there's my foil Bill the Pony I got from Splice and Barlaman Butterbeer. So Bill the Pony comes in for free if you control Sam, and he gives all Hobbits 1 additional hit point. So that's amazing. And then Barlaman Butterbeer costs 2, 1, 0, 1, 3, and then damage from an undefended attack can be assigned against him if you control only Hobbit heroes. Am I saying Butterbeer? Butterbur. And if you hear my dog barking, he's barking at the mailman who is currently delivering my starter decks. So all 4 starter decks have just arrived at my house. That's pretty cool. I'm going to keep Bill the Pony and Barlaman exhausted instead of raising my threat. I don't think I'm going to need them this round. We have plenty of willpower to send. And let's go. Let's advance to a random stage 3. So after I commit characters to the quest, we are sending 15 at the moment, and we are going to be up against 11. So that's not terrible. All right, let's see what we reveal. Does Furial like it? Yeah, that's fine. That's the Horondor Waste. And when we travel there, we add a random card to the discard pile. So we added 2 threat. We're currently making 2. So if I use Faramir, I'm going to boost it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 more puts us at 20. So we have made a total of 7. And we should have only had 3 on there, so that's exactly right. So it didn't matter that I forgot to remove it that one time. I have the 3 stage 3s sitting there. I have 1 of each token in my hand, and we drop green. Jeez, I maybe should have thought about that a little more. It's actually hard to see the green if I drop the green. Okay, so we are traveling to the one I marked with the green token, and it is the Deadly Creatures stage 3. So here's how this works. We're going to set each other stage 3A aside, out of play. We're going to shuffle what remains of the Deadly Creatures encounter set plus the discard pile into the encounter deck, and then we're going to reveal a card. And this is all happening at the end of the quest phase, so the Black Serpent is going to be attacking you when you advance to your stage 3, so make sure you have a plan for that. All right, let's reveal a random card. The card we get is another Uruk Prowler, so we need to add a random enemy from the Orc encounter set or it attacks me. So let's get a random enemy from the Orc encounter set. I mean, who cares, right? We just keep adding enemies. That's no big deal. All right, there's the Warg Rider. So that's now in my discard pile. And then now let's look at 3B, Deadly Creatures, 15 progress needed. Enemies in the staging area cannot take damage. Forced, after an enemy engages a player, deal 1 damage to a hero that player controls. I think I catch that every time. Sometimes I'm going to have to remember to do it in the planning phase, but I'm pretty sure I remember to do that. Okay, so the thing with advancing is there's no progress on the quest, and the Black Serpent's going to attack me at the end of the engagement phase. So that's why making sure you have a plan for when you advance to the next stage is always a good one, because you're definitely going to get attacked, and he's now attacking for 5, so that's a big attack. All right, do we want to travel? We have 2 locations to go to, even though they look alike. So the waste tells me to find an enemy from the set with the most cards remaining and add it to the discard pile, and then shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck, and then the other one I have to reveal a card. So let's go to the Horondor Waste, and I'm going to get a random card from the Harad deck, because the Orc deck has less. Yeah, definitely. I haven't taken many cards out of this set yet. So let's see what random card we're going to add. And the card we get is a Southron Soldier. Okay, I was supposed to shuffle in the discard pile, but that card is my discard pile, so I forgot to do that. Alrighty, let's engage one of these Prowlers that ready Sam. It draws me a card. It's another Evening Star. That's really good. So Sam is defending for 5 against enemies with an engagement cost higher than his. 2 from the Cloak, 1 from Friend of Friends, 1 from the boost I just got from engaging this guy. So it's going to be 5 against the Black Serpent who's attacking. And this shadow is +1, +2 if the attacking enemy's threat is greater than the defender's willpower. It's not. So it's just a +1, but I'm going to use Rosie to keep me from getting damaged. Then the Warden's going to heal all the damage on the board. And now we are in the combat phase. So I can use Rosie again because her ability is limit once per phase. And that attack was during the encounter phase. But Sam is defending for 5. This guy's attacking for 4. So let's see what we get. Exhaust a character I control. That's fine. So I will exhaust Quick Beam. I'm not going to need his attack at all. Because what I can do is ready Pippin. Pippin's going to attack for 2. And then Rosie's going to boost him. So she's going to ready and boost his attack by 2. So he's now attacking for 4. And then there's 2 from the Lookout. And then 4 from Treebeard. So he's dead. And is that it? Did I do everything? Did I catch everything? No. I should have taken a damage from when I engaged that guy. So I was like, did I catch all my triggers? So there we go. Pippin took that damage. Now we're good. Next round. And the card we draw after Treebeard gets the resource is my 3rd copy of Hobbit Sense. Must be an important card if I have 3 of them in there. Okay, well, it makes no sense to play Gandalf. I don't need to drop my threat, and I can't damage enemies in the staging area because of the quest card. So let's just commit to the quests. We are going to be sending 20. All right, we are sending 20. We are up against 12, and we get a Foothills of Mordor 3-threat location. Furiel's fine with that. So let's add 3 threat. Let's trigger Faramir, and we're going to boost us by 8 more. So it's 28 to 15, 3 to clear the active. So we're gonna end up with 10 on the quest, and of course that's going to get back down to 7 once we get to the end of the engagement phase. So 10 on the quest at the moment. And then we're going to travel to this Foothills of Mordor. It has a effect that says you have to raise your threat by 2 when you travel there, so that's no problem. So that's going to put my threat at 30, which is pretty good, really, for as long as we've been playing. Now let's engage this Prowler. So the Prowler is going to engage us. It's going to ready Sam, give him a boost. Pippin's going to draw me a card, all the fun Hobbit things. So let's do that. Sam's boosted. The card we draw is Lookout. All right, it's another Lookout. When that enemy engaged me, I needed to deal a damage to a hero, so I'll deal it to Sam and then exhaust the Warden to heal it off. So I'm just remembering to do that trigger. We're going to drop the progress down from 10 to 7 because I got to remove X progress, where X is the stage number we're at. And let's do some combat. This should not be a problem. Sam's defending for 5 against 4. And the shadow is nothing, so no problem there. And then let's kill this guy. So Sam will ready. Rosie can boost him because they got hitched. Pippin can also attack for 2. So just the hobbits alone can kill this guy. I don't even need Quick Beam. So that's pretty cool. And I had that Lookout over there. He's ready. Kind of easy to not see him hiding over there. Barlaman also could have helped with extra attack if I couldn't have defended it. So I'm set. The board is set. This deck definitely can beat this quest once it's fully up and running. It definitely can lose at the beginning. So it's really fun. But we still have to advance to stage 4. And if you've never played this quest before, stage 4. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. All right. Hey, we drew the Mirkwood Explorer. He's really cool. He costs 3. And when he quests successfully, you place a progress on him. And then you can exhaust him and move all that progress to a location. So between the Evening Stars and the Mirkwood Explorer and Furiel, that's how in the late game you can avoid that desolate location, the one that gets all that threat. So Gone is kind of for the early game and then a bunch of tricks later to help get rid of it. So that's how I can avoid that. We know we're up against a location because we just played a Lookout, so I know exactly how much threat I'm adding, so I know exactly how much willpower I need to send to clear the active location and to get the 15 progress to advance us to the next stage. So let's go. 22 willpower against 11 threat. Once we add that location, we clear the active, we make 15 progress. So now we advance to stage 4, a battle at the crossings. When revealed, the first player takes control of the Poros garrison. That's nice. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for each enemy that belongs to an encounter set, denoted by the first icon on each set aside stage 3, and adds them to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. So, in other words, any enemy that we added to the encounter set that does not belong to the deadly creatures, we now need to go get it. The Poros garrison is 3 willpower, 4, 3, 6, and then it's immune to player card effects, and I can optionally engage an additional enemy during the engagement phase. So that's a big, powerful ally to get in play right now. But my goodness, we shuffled in a lot of cards from these sets. So anything from the Orc set like that one, and anything from the Haradrim Soldier set like that one, we need to now add to the staging area. So there's 3 enemies. Now let's look in the encounter deck. There's one. Okay, not the Scorpion. There's one. Remember, the great big captain. Yep, he's back. And then, oh yeah, the big chieftain. He's back. Any more? Let's see. Nope, not the Viper. Okay. Yeah, so this is a big surprise if you haven't played this quest before, that these enemies all come into play. They're all added to the staging area. I mean, we added 6 enemies here. 2 of them are like the big boss enemies from each set. That's pretty crazy. Theoden, anything you want to add?
What can men do against such reckless hate?
Yeah, I agree. All right, so why did I bring hobbits up against a quest where the combat phase at the end of the game is absolutely insane? Well, that's where knowing what hobbits can do really comes in handy. So let's look at what we have to do to win. So 20 quest points needed. Forced, after an enemy attacks and destroys a character, remove X progress from this stage. X is the attacking enemy's printed threat. This stage cannot be defeated except at the end of the combat phase. If players defeat this stage, they win the game. So even if we get 20 progress on there, we got to get through combat. And then if we have characters die due to attacks, we're backing progress off. So very tricky. I don't want to travel to either of these locations. I don't like the travel costs, and they have more progress needed than their threat. So I want to keep the threat and staging as least as possible. Let's see. So the Orc Chieftain guy, he's going to engage me no matter what. Based on my threat, I don't have to engage anything, which kind of stinks. I wish I could engage everything, to be honest. I wish every single enemy could come down and get me. So let's engage the captain, optionally. And then the Poros garrison lets me grab a second enemy. So I'm just trying to grab whoever adds the most threat. So the captain added threat to other Harad enemies. So yes, I'm going to engage these 2 enemies, and then the chieftain captain guy, he comes down automatically to whoever's engaged with the most orcs. All right, so I'm engaged with those 3. None of them had when engaged effects, so I didn't need to worry about that. How the heck am I going to arrange all these characters? My gosh. Okay, now we are at the end of the encounter phase. So I need to get attacked by the Black Serpent, but Sam just got boosted 3 times and readied once. So you ready him, and then he got boosted. Pippin drew me 3 cards. There's 3 allies. So Sam just got boosted 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, plus friend of friends, plus 4 then. Then the cloak is plus 2 more, plus his base. So that's 7? Yeah. Sam is defending for 7. Let's double check. So he has a base of 1, plus another 1 from friend of friends, plus 2 from the cloak. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 7 defense against an attack of 6. And the shadow is if it destroys a character, resolve the effect of that card. Okay, so I don't even take damage. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go into combat. 3 great big attacks coming after I deal out some archery, so we'll put it on the Ents. The Warden of Healing will heal off the damage. And now we're going to deal out shadow cards, so the enemy with the highest engagement gets the first one. So there, 1, 2, 3. And then, remember that 3 copies of a certain card I got? Hobbit Sense? Yeah, check out what this thing does. Play only if each of your heroes is a Hobbit. Combat action. Engaged enemies with you do not attack this phase. You cannot declare attacks this phase. Okay, so I just basically played Feint 3 times, and I can't attack back. So shadows go away, and we go into the next round. All right, this should be the final round. The card we draw is another Student of Orthanc. I never used his ability the entire game. I guess I could have used it when I played that Hobbit sense in the combat phase, but that's okay. I have more cards than I could pay for. I am going to pay full cost for Gandalf. No sneak attacks ever showed up. I think I only have like 5 cards left in my deck at this point. And Gandalf is going to come in at full cost, and he's going to kill the archer, because the archer only has 4 hit points, so I'm going to take that threat out of staging. And, okay, so if I reveal that Desolate Waste, the one that is threat equal to the number of characters I control, Furial will get rid of it. And if there were 2 back-to-back, well, I just won't make a lot of progress this round. I am not worrying about keeping 2 resources to play the Evening Star, which could clear that. I just am assuming there's not going to be 2 back-to-back. So when we're all said and done, I am sending 34 willpower. I double check all the enemies engaged with me and any weird effects that might be boosting things, and I think I am up against 17? So it's 34 against 17, so let's go. All right, what do we reveal? I'm going to ready Pippin just in case I have to exhaust somebody or something. I don't know, I left a couple characters ready. All right, here we go. Oh god, oh no. All right, fine. It's a 3-threat Foothills of Mordor, so we will keep that. So we are now up against 20. So at the moment, we are making 14 progress. That's not enough. So we will exhaust Faramir, and we will also exhaust Rosie to boost. And when it's all said and done, I think I'm sending a total of 51, because technically Rosie is 3 willpower once Faramir exhausts. So I think I don't count her willpower the right way. But I put the marker at 50. It doesn't matter whether it's 50 or 52. When it's all said and done, I have sent a lot more than I needed. So we are going to make around 30 progress. But we don't win until the end of the combat phase. So let's add the progress there. So there, let's say that's 20, and then here's 10 more. All right, engagements. So I'm already engaged with 3 enemies. I can pull down 2 more. So I don't want to engage the Southron Soldier, because that makes me back off progress, so let's just leave him up there. I don't have to engage anything. My threat is low enough. So I'm going to engage the Uruk from Mordor, I think it's called, and then one of these Desert Wargs. And once again, it's going to boost Sam, so Sam gets boosted twice. I draw 2 cards. There's 3 cards left in my deck. 2 of them are sneak attack. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to back off 4 progress, so we are still sitting pretty at 26 out of 20 needed. I'm going to deal out the shadow cards to all these enemies, and how in the heck am I going to handle combat? Nah, no problem. I got another copy of that Hobbit sense, so the Hobbits have a lot of sense. I'm going to spend 2 resources. We don't get attack. The combat phase is over. We have 20 progress, so that's the ballgame. So that is how you can get past this very difficult stage 4 on the final adventure pack for the Haradrim cycle. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed my playthroughs through this cycle. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.